Ryan burst into his room with frustration written all over his face. He had been searching everywhere for his favorite toy, and it was nowhere to be found. He looked under his bed, inside his closet, and behind the curtains. The more he searched, the more irritated he became. His heart started beating faster as his thoughts turned to negative. He felt like nothing was going his way. Suddenly, anger took over his emotions. He kicked the door hard with his foot. The loud bang echoed through the house, but the sound did not make him feel better. Still furious, he grabbed his shoes and threw them across the room. They hit the wall and dropped to the floor. Ryan clenched his fists tightly. His breathing became heavy and uneven. In that moment, it felt easier to explode than to calm down. From the living room, his grandfather heard the noise. He closed his book quietly and stood up. Instead of rushing in angrily, he walked slowly toward Ryan's room. His face was calm and thoughtful. He stopped at the doorway and observed the situation without judgment. The door had a small mark, and the shoes were scattered. Ryan was still upset, muttering complaints under his breath. He blamed everything around him. Grandpa gently asked, "What happened, my boy?" His voice was steady and soft. Ryan replied angrily that he could not find his favorite toy. He said it was unfair and frustrating. Grandpa nodded as he listened. He did not interrupt or criticize. After a moment of silence, Grandpa said something unexpected. He told Ryan to apologize to the door. Ryan looked shocked and confused. He thought his grandfather was joking. "Apologize to the door?" Ryan asked. "It's just a door." Grandpa calmly replied, "If you can be angry at a door, you can also apologize to it." Ryan did not know how to respond. The idea sounded strange to him. Grandpa continued speaking gently. He explained that anger creates a connection. When you release anger toward something, you spread negative energy. That energy affects you too. But love and apology can create a different kind of connection, one that brings peace instead of tension. Ryan slowly began to listen more carefully. His anger was still there, but it was weaker. Grandpa said that saying sorry does not make someone weak. It shows strength and self-control. Only strong people can admit when they lose control. That is true courage. Ryan looked at the door he had kicked. He saw the mark left by his shoe. For the first time, he felt a small sense of regret. He picked up one of his shoes from the floor. It looked harmless and innocent. Grandpa said softly, "Feeling angry is normal, but choosing what to do with that anger is what matters." Ryan realized that kicking and throwing had not solved anything. His toy was still missing. All his anger had done was make the room feel heavier. He walked toward the door slowly. His steps were quieter now. Taking a deep breath, he touched the door gently. "I'm sorry for kicking you," he whispered. Then he picked up his other shoe and said, "I'm sorry for throwing you." It felt awkward at first, but something inside him began to soften. The tight feeling in his chest slowly faded. Grandpa smiled proudly as he watched. He saw the change happening. He explained that anger is like fire. When you feed it, it grows bigger. Fire spreads quickly and destroys everything in its path. But love is like water, it cools the flames. Water brings balance and calmness. If someone speaks to you with anger, you can choose to respond with more anger. That will only increase the fire. But if you respond with patience and love, you reduce the heat. Grandpa said that many problems in the world start with uncontrolled anger. Arguments grow because no one wants to step back. Conflicts continue because pride is stronger than forgiveness. Ryan listened quietly. His breathing was now calm. He asked his grandfather if love was always the answer. Grandpa replied that love does not mean accepting wrong behavior. It means responding wisely. Love means controlling yourself even when emotions rise. He explained that real strength is not about shouting louder. Real strength is about staying calm when you want to shout. Ryan began to understand something deeper. He realized that anger had controlled him just minutes ago, but apologizing gave him control back. That felt powerful. Grandpa placed a gentle hand on Ryan's shoulder. He said that peace in the world begins with peace in one heart. If each person learns to reduce anger, the world slowly changes. Families argue less, friendships grow stronger, communities feel safer. Ryan thought about his friends at school. He remembered times when small arguments became big fights. Maybe things could have been different if someone had chosen calmness. Grandpa encouraged him to practice this lesson daily, not just today. Because anger will visit again, it always does. But next time, Ryan would recognize it sooner. After calming down, Ryan decided to search for his toy again. This time, he moved slowly and carefully. He looked under his blanket once more. There, hidden near the corner of the bed, was his toy. He stared at it for a moment and then laughed softly. All that anger had been unnecessary. Grandpa smiled warmly and said, "See what patience can do." Ryan nodded. feeling slightly embarrassed but also wiser. He understood now that anger does not solve problems. Love, patience, and forgiveness create solutions. From that day on, whenever Ryan felt frustration rising, he paused before reacting. He remembered the door, the shoes, and the lesson about fire and water. He learned that feeling angry is human, but controlling anger reveals character. And sometimes, the strongest words you can say are, "I'm sorry." If this story touched your heart, remember that you always have a choice. You can let anger control you, or you can choose love and change everything. Thank you for watching, and may you always choose peace over pride.